Hello, welcome back to Kinzo being roasted alive. Let's continue. That laughs back crimson. Crimson flames poured out from inside him, spitting even out of his mouth, ears, and nose. And all at once, his body was wrapped in hellfire. But Kinzo kept laughing. The more he laughed, the more the hellfire spewed from his entire body and began to char him. Those flames became a brilliant light, which dazzlingly shone on the various magical tools throughout the room, making their distorted shadows dance across the walls. Those shadows looked like the dead in hell, watching over Kinzo in ecstasy as he burned. I was just thinking, that wasn't very long between him feeling unsettled, calling the servants, and then being checkmated. I'm beginning to think that he isn't a very good chess player. And, for one who had made a contract with a witch, it was an extremely fitting end in accordance with those terms. After laughing and howling the roaring flames for some time, Kinzo flopped to the ground, as though he was a puppet whose strings had been cut. Those incredible blazing flames disappeared as though he'd been completely burned up. And afterwards, nothing remained but a festering and burnt corpse that one could hardly bear to look at. That's the second time that we've seen him be burned. And in the second game, I mean, he didn't really show until the end when weird stuff was happening already anyway. So yeah, I'm not sure. Interesting though that twice he would be burned, so that she wouldn't be really recognizable. Or at least it removes a lot of evidence from him. Oh?
ふさわしい死に方だと思っているくせに。なぜお前が姿を現している？僕たちに何か用だとでも言うのか？
よしてカノン君。ベアトリーチェ様を挑発してはダメ。
すっかり怯えさせてしまいましたね。
わらわはつくづくカノンとは仲良くなれぬようだ。そう嫌いでもないというのにね。
I dislike all of you evenly. Yeah, equally. Beatrice grinned. Canon violently averted his gaze, obviously unhappy. His reaction was so different from what she wanted to do that it made the witch and her butler laugh.
カノン、ベアトリーチェ様の御前であるぞ。言葉遣いに気をつけなさい。
Ooh, that's another alternative. 18 humans are on the island. However, one of the supposed humans hasn't actually been on the island, i.e. Kinzo has already been dead or something. Ooh. Actually, yeah, so what if she delayed telling him that there were 18 humans on the island, so it could be after Kinzo dies, to then obfuscate slightly.
ああ、構わぬぞ、源氏。好きに言わせてやれ。わらわは寛大である。何が寛大だ。わらわは死にゆく者にはいつだって寛大である。
Oh. Has he been chosen as well? Canon was taken aback by that creepy laughter. Beatrice wasn't here just to take Kinzo's life. The first twilight required 6 sacrifices. Kinzo alone wasn't nearly enough. And they just casually walked in here.
安心せよ、カノン。
You weren't selected.
そなたらがここに訪れたから生贄に選ばれるのではない。生贄に選 ばれているからこそここに呼ばれているんじゃないか。
Although perhaps, I'm wondering if that applies to Shannon as well.
なんだと。
Your instincts were good enough to spot her meaning instantly. 6 sacrifices were required for the first twilight. After Kinzo, how many more would you need to add up to 6? 5. In that mansion, the number 5 instantly made them think of the number of servants here.
それがお望みですか。
But to pick all the servants, that seems unlikely.
感謝せよ、家具どもよ。そなたたちの苦難の日々は今宵ようやく終わりを迎えた。
Yep, since all the servants are dead, that also prevents him from suspecting the servants.
それを告げに訪れたわらわに感謝せよ。
かしこまりました。それをお望みでしたら。
源氏様。
Genji had agreed to Witch's heartless announcement with his usual demeanor, without raising an eyebrow.
親方様亡き後は、ベアトリーチェ様が我らの主。その求めに応じるのが我らの最後の務めだ。シャノン、カノン、今日までよく仕えた。そのロークもこれにて終わりだ。
源氏はさすがですね。同じ家具としてあなたを誇りに思いますよ。
シャノン、異論はないか。
はい。
ジョージ様から指輪を贈られたそうだ
Are you going to put it on now?
が、それでもなお未練はないか。
はい。家具の身に過ぎた幸福でした。
Aww.
指輪を頂戴しただけで私の思いはすでに達せられております。
Shannon couldn't take quite as much of a philosophical view as Genji. There probably were regrets left in her heart. She probably wanted to spend a little more time with the person she cared for, George. But she released herself from that. She took a single deep breath, and a blank expression rose to her face.
それでよい。
シャノンがそこまでの落ち着きを得るとは少し驚きでした。あなたも家具として達観したようですね。
惚れた男と夜も共にできず少しは悔し涙をこぼさんのか。退屈な女よ。
ベアトリーチェ様ごときにこの気持ちはわかりません。私たちの命をご所望でしたらどうぞお受け取りください。私たちは謹んでそのお務めを全うします。
それでいい。よくぞ言ったな。
ベアトリーチェ様の苦手なタイプのようで。
最近こやつめはだいぶ達観しよった。どうも前回いじめすぎたようだ。それを言ったらバトラムか。わらわはまだぬるいのか。
So she apparently still remembers the previous times.
それとも追い詰め方が下手なのか。いずれにせよ面白みのないやつよ。しかしお前はまだわらわを楽しませてくれそうだよな。カノン。
カノン君。
Compared to the two who had taken a far-sighted approach, there was a painful anguish on Cannon's face. Cannon was still far too young to accept his demise, after being told of it by a suddenly appearing witch.
カノン、わらわは退屈を何より嫌う。そしてお前を除く二人が素直に死を受け入れるもので面白くない。だからそなたにはわらわの期待を裏切らないでもらいたいものだ。
I don't expect Kumasara or Goda-san to go quietly.
僕を慰み者にしようというのか。
Cannon realized that he was being provoked. However, no matter how furiously anger spurred him on, his opponent was a witch. He was furniture. He hadn't a chance of victory from the beginning. The witch was expecting that he'd struggle in vain and writhe around, and was even looking forward to it. Just thinking about that was frustrating enough to get his blood boiling. It was disappointing the witch by refusing to resist like the other two. The only way he could strike back at her.
煉獄の七姉妹が長女ルシファー、いでよ。
傲慢のルシファー、ここに。
カノン、家具に魔女と戦えというのも酷な話よ。そなたがいくら怒りに駆られようとも、勝算のない戦いでは希望も持てまい。無論勝ち目のない戦いではわらわも退屈というものならば、家具は家具、家具同士で決着をつけてはどうか。それならば勝てる希望も持てるであろう。
恐れながらベアトリーチェ様、私がそのような出来損ないの家具に劣るようなことがありましょうか。こんな可愛い子に私が万一にも負けるようなことなど。
我が家具煉獄の七杭を打ち破ってみせよ。見事打ち破ってみせたなら、そうだな。13人の生贄を逃れることのできる5人をそなたに自由に決めさせてやろう。
Oh.
そなたの推薦する5人をわらわは無条件にて黄金鏡に迎え入れる。
Interesting.
それならばどうか。
Cannon understood that he was being provoked. However, the witch's offer was very tempting. By this point, Cannon couldn't care less about this evil ceremony the witch and the rest were trying to carry out. On the contrary, it was much more important that he remain alive so that he could be invited to the Golden Land. So, I guess the five that he would choose would be himself, Shannon, Genji, George, and Jessica. That would be my guess. And have his wish granted by Beatrice there.
そなたは家具は嫌だと泣いたな。そなたの望み叶えてやろうぞ。枕を濡らしてまで望んだ人間の体を与えてやろうぞ。どうだ。そうすればジェシカとも結ばれるぞ。おお、ちょうどよい。黄金鏡へ招ける5人にジェシカとそなたを推薦すればよい。自分だけが幸せになることに抵抗があるならば、さらにシャノンとその思い人であるジョージを加えればよい。義理があるならばさらにゲンジも加えればよい。
That's the five I expected.
おお、これで5人だ。十分ではないか、カノン。これだけのご褒美があれば。そなたはわらわを退屈させはしないよな。
どうせ戯れよ。耳を貸す必要はない。
I doubt it.
僕は嫌だ。姉さんはそれでいいの？
Beatrice couldn't hide her evil smile at these words.
僕は嫌だ。幸せになりたい。家具なんてもう嫌だ。人間になって普通の恋がしたい。 僕も姉さんのように海が青いってことを知りたいんだ。
若いですね。羨ましい。
だから若者は好きなのだ。ゲンジ、シャノンは下がれ。カノン、ルシファーは前へ。
仰せのままに。気に入らないわ。ベアトリーチェ様は無理でも私にだったら勝てるかもしれないという見下しが最高に気に入らないわ。
That was probably humiliating for Lucifer. One, pride, but at the same time, she was also happy that she was lucky enough to have this adorable prey all to herself.
来い、魔女の家具。いつまでも僕を見くびることができると思うな。
I think we all know how this will end up.
Saバトラー、楽しい見せ物の時間であるぞ。
くそ、またおかしなことになりやがった。魔法バトルなんて認めてたまるかよ。
ほらほら、目をつむらずにちゃんと見ろよ。ほらほらほらほら、魔法だよ、家具だよ。そなたがどんなにわらわや魔法の存在を否定しようとも、ほらほらほらほらほらほら、こうして目の前でブオンブオンカキンカキンやられちゃ台無しだよな。ほらほらほらほら、もう思考なんて止めちまえよ。魔法はあるんだって。これはファンタジーなんだって。目を閉じるなよ、しっかり見ろよ。ほらほらほらほらほら。
畜生、畜生、畜生、畜生。魔女を認めない、魔法を認めない。でもこんなにあからさまにやられちまったらなんだっていやいいんだ。
Optical illusions. Yep.
クソクソクソクソ。
ほら、目を背けるなよ、しっかり見ろよ。魔法はあるんだよ、ファンタジーなんだよ。推理ごっことかやめちまえよ。知ってんだよ、ものを考えんの本当は苦手なんだろ。やめちまえやめちまえ。ほらほら、どうせファンタジー、どうせファンタジー。
うるせえうるせえうるせえ。俺に話しかけるんじゃね
こいつ意地になっちゃって、私になら勝てるなんて思い上がりをしたことを今すぐ床に這いつくばって謝ってごらんなさい。そうしたら特別に許してあげてもいいわよ。生きながら生皮を剥がして絶命するまで全身を鞭打ってのたうち回らすのを特別に許してあげてもいいわよ。可愛い子なんだから謝っちゃいなさいよ。そうしたらあなただけは最高に素敵な気分の中で優しく優しく行かせてあげる。
黙れ魔女の家具。お前と問答するつもりはない。
Doing what are you doing right now?
私なんか眼中にないというのね。気に入らないわ。畏怖を感じないその目。本当に気に入らないわ。
はあ。
カノン君、
あやつ、サタンの時よりも筋がいいではないか。
だから人間は恐ろしいのです。たまに魔女にまでなり、悪魔を羊扱いにしたりいたしますよ。
わらわはどちらを応援すればよいというのか。こいつ、私と互角に渡り合うというの？
僕を見くびるな。お前にそのおごりがある限り、僕には決して勝てない。
Oh, that's all she has, right? Pride?
私がこの煉獄の七姉妹が長女ルシファーを指して決して勝てないと？こんな。
Yeah, Pride's my thing. Oh? Canon was desperately trying to stay alive, and he had a strong desire to become human. But Lucifer didn't feel anything stronger than a slight desire to play. So, that led to an inevitable result. It was a result that could be reached by the power of humans. The power of a heart.
これまでだ。
So when I said, I think we all know how this is going to end up, question mark there?
お前は僕に決して勝てない。
Add in a few more question marks? The glowing red curve extended straight out from Cannon's arm, pointing at Lucifer's throat, just beneath the tip of her chin.
何よこれ。この私がこんなの。何かの間違いよ。
As she ground her teeth in irritation, she tried to deny the truth right before her eyes. But no matter how much she believed in her own superiority, it didn't change the facts right in front of her.
ほう、やるなカノン。見事だ。わらわを退屈させなかった。それに比べ、わらわの家具のなんと情けないことか。
ルシファー、お嬢様を退屈させていますよ。やはりあなたには荷が勝ちすぎた相手でしたか？
失望するぞ、七食いの長女。
It would have seemed like mere rebuke to an outsider. However, furniture serving the witch knew what kind of severe treatment was promised by that rebuke, and understood what had been left unsaid.
この出来損ない家具が！
She howled. Abandoning her last bit of pride, she made her body explode, exposing her true form. That form was a demon stake, which bounced off the walls surrounding the room.
よくも私にここまで恥をかかせたな。殺せ殺す殺せ殺せ、このぬるまが。私の姿をもはや追うこともできないくせに。もう遊ばないよ。本気で怒ったわよ。お前の心臓を一撃で貫いてやるよ。ぶっすりざっくり貫いて、真っ赤な血の噴水を天井にまで届かせてやるよ。死ねー！
After flying about wildly for some time, with a speed approaching the limits of what a human eye could follow, Lucifer flew at Cannon's heart. She could tell that it was Cannon's blood by the sweet taste of it. But she quickly noticed one thing. She hadn't pierced his heart.
ほう。
これだから人間は恐ろしい。紅茶はいかがですかな
Oh, is that like your signature phrase or something?
今はよい。紅茶もいらぬほどに面白い。
カノ君。
おごったな。だからお前は僕に勝てないんだ。
The floor was stained with dripping blood. It really was Cannon's blood, but it wasn't flowing out of his chest. Cannon had sacrificed his own left hand to protect his heart. Lucifer was arrogant. Even if she wins at this point, she'll be upset. Even though she'd been given enough time to realize that this was an opponent capable of cornering her. In her pride, she had believed him to be worthless. She had gotten careless. So, just as she had announced, she had aimed for his chest, trying to pierce his heart. Because she was arrogant, she hadn't even thought of aiming for somewhere other than the place she had announced. No, maybe she had thought about it a little. However, her pride would not allow for her to aim for a different spot. After all, she was Lucifer of Pride. Cannon, withstanding the pain, grasped the demon stake sticking deep into his left hand strongly with his right hand, and pulled it out. When she heard the sound of breaking bones and even more blood dripping down, Shannon looked away reflexively. There was an air hole in the back of the pierced hand so big you could clearly see through the other side. Cannon's face was filled with pain, but right now, he had won, without a doubt. The demon stake he was gripping with his right hand turned back into Lucifer again, so that Cannon was now gripping exactly where her neck was.
僕の勝ちだ。ベアトリーチェ。
Cannon didn't hold back at all with a hand gripping Lucifer's throat. She had challenged him again after their fight had already been decided. Cannon had no obligation to be considerate. But even so, Cannon released the witch's furniture. Was it his naive humanism, his pity for another furniture, or a final bit of respect to the witch? In any case, when she was released, Lucifer fell face down on the ground, retching and moaning over the pain in her throat.
お見事ですよ、カノン。
So which five will he select?
あなたの奮闘により、金蔵の研究の正しさが一つ実証されました。
Renove was clapping his hands. As Cannon, who had won at great cost and had a wound on his left hand that wouldn't close, Renove's applause only felt like mockery.
人の心はあらゆる可能性を秘めるか。いやはやこれだから人間は恐ろしい。あっぱれであるぞカノン。そなたは勝利した。見事だ。
大丈夫カノン君。
Shannon ran up to him and wrapped a handkerchief around his left hand, which was still spraying blood.
見事であるぞカノン。実に見事である。わらわも少しは番狂わせを期待した。
One thing to keep in mind though, if he chooses those five, then that would mean Battle would have to die earlier.
それを裏切らぬとは、そなたは誠に素晴らしき家具であるぞ。見直した。
I wonder what would happen then.
正直見直したぞ。
約束を忘れてはいないだろうな、ベアトリーチェ。
もちろん忘れてはおらぬぞ。魔女も悪魔も非道ではある。
But they keep their promises?
だがしかし契約に限っては人間など及ばぬほどに高潔だ。
Close enough.
わらわは保護にはせぬ。そなたが勝利したな。13人の生贄を逃れることができる5人を自由に決める権利を保証した。
ベアトリーチェ様、私はまだ敗れたわけでは。
And Beatrice waved her pipe. Heaven and earth turned over just for Lucifer. So, as a horribly natural result, she fell onto the ceiling. The ceiling doesn't seem that high to people standing on the floor. However, people who fall on it upside down and head first usually don't agree.
お嬢様、さすがにやりすぎでは。
それもそうであるな。許してやるか。
Beatrice waved her pipe again. When she did, the magic that had been affecting Lucifer was released. So, as a horribly natural result, this time she fell properly back onto the floor. So I think on that note I'll be ending it there for today. I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know what any feedback you have in the comments. And until next time, where we probably have or find out which 5 Conan chooses to survive. So yeah, until then, see ya.